James 1 verse 10. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Holy Spirit is very interested in the atmosphere you create by listening to Him quickly. He will give you His attitude and attention as you are guided by Him, especially when enhancing by spiritual force. When your will and His will attach to generate an atmosphere, it is like a cloak of forgiveness that removes bondage out of the surrounding influence and imputes purpose into the lives of His believers. Daniel 7 verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came and pronounced judgment in favor of the holy people of the Most High, and the time came when they possessed the kingdom. If you are a person who has an enormous will attached to the Father's will and have great pressure advancing His kingdom, the loneliness you may feel will leave you the moment God cloaks you. In order to be covered, you must choose the will of the Ancient of Days and His throne in the time you are in. It is your choice. God can establish you and even pioneer you when you choose to institute His kingdom with your time, and therefore your resources never run out. Psalm 1 verse 3. And he will be like a tree firmly planted and fed by streams of water, which yields its fruit in its season. Its leaf does not wither, and in whatever he does, he prospers and comes to maturity. The idea is that your cloak of salvation will bring you to give the Lord everything, and in this, He is able to turn it all around for you. The opposite of this is a person who seeks after comfort. I'm not speaking of the Holy Spirit comforting you in a time of suffering. I'm telling you it's impossible to walk with God and make an idol of certainty. In most cases, you will only know in part and be expected to use your faith and endurance to forge and plow through. This kingdom effort is against sitting in comfort, pretending life is great. Laziness leads to emptiness that only plans for the comfort of today and does not plan for the purposes of God tomorrow. Proverbs 13 verse 4. The sole appetite of the lazy person craves and gets nothing, for lethargy overcomes ambition. But the sole appetite of the diligent who works willingly is rich and abundantly supplied. You want to have a cloak of righteousness that is against standing still spiritually. If you go stagnant, it won't be long and you will be retreating. You want to be a person that stands for justice despite the cost, because it shows you are born of God. 1 John 2 verse 29. If you know that He is absolutely righteous, you know for certain that everyone who practices righteousness, doing what is right and conforming to God's will, has been born of Him. Job 29 verse 14. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My justice was like a robe and a turban.